Hello everyone, and welcome once more to the sideboard here at the Baltimore Standard Open. I'm Glenn Jones, joined by Gerard Fabiano.
That's me.
Gerard, you've been championing Grixis in Standard for about a month, maybe 2 months now.
Yeah.
I know you had some very interesting builds. I played your Dustmantle Seer actually before Dragon's Maze came out. I took it to my last FNM in that format. It was a lot of fun.
Okay.
But today you came with something significantly different.
I did.
It's more in line with, similar to the blue-white-red deck that won the Standard Open last weekend, but yours is Grixis-oriented. You're tapping out for Planeswalkers and Aetherling at the top end.
Yep.
So why the change?
Well, I always love to play Grixis. You know, red, blue, black is a color combination that is different than Esper, but it kind of gives a little bit more flair and more excitement. So I always want to try to bring something cool. I actually spoke with Patrick Chapin before I came to this event, and he showed me his Grixis deck list, and I took some from him, some from me, kind of meshed it together, did some testing, and this is what it came up with.
All right, well, obviously the glue of Grixis, you don't have Sphinx's Revelation, you have to get your card advantage in other ways.
Yep.
You do have Think Twice to start things off. Just let you hit your land drops, obviously a very important card, people have been playing it for months. But then you move into these Planeswalkers. You've got plenty of Jaces. I think after the block tournament, the Pro Tour, we're all expecting big things from Jace Architect of Thought, at least, especially once the format rotates, if not just now. But you've also got Rowzer, Tamio, Liliana the Veil. How are these guys factoring into your game, moving from turns like 3 to 7? I imagine that's where they pop up the most.
Yeah, pretty much Planeswalkers is one of the best ways you guys could gain card advantage with. The way you could win the game is from Tamio. You could win by Jace. You could win by Liliana, technically. You know, make them sack a bunch of permanents. Also, you could like almost win with Rowzerek. Most of the time, you're going to win the game with Aetherling, or your opponent might just scoop if you ultimate a Tamio or whatnot. So you want to play these Planeswalkers to gain small card advantage and then turn it into bigger and bigger card advantage, because they're going to have to be attacking their Planeswalkers, they're going to use resources on them, and you'll have counters, you'll have Rakdos Return, you have removal. So you're kind of attritioning out your opponent and taking control of the game and just slamming an Aetherling or whatever to win the game.
Sure, obviously you have Snapcaster Mage, which has card advantage, and Rakdos Keyrune. Those guys, they could maybe beat someone to death, but you're relying on Aetherling in a big way.
You know what? Not so much. I mean, last round my opponent slaughtered games by Aetherling, and I could have still won the game with many other ways. So Aetherling is the quickest way to close out a game, but you could just win with a Snapcaster Mage, like you said, or Rakdos Keyrune, just because you're getting so much card advantage, they'll have nothing left, and 3 a turn, 5 a turn, they're gonna die, You're gonna win the game.
Especially if you can get Planeswalkers active, obviously.
Exactly, yeah.
That's a big deal. You are running Cavern of Souls to go along with your Aetherling.
Yep.
I feel like that's becoming just industry standard in the last 2 weeks. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I knew Aetherling was going to be such a great card before the Pro Tour, and I played in my Pro Tour deck, and I was very impressed with Aetherling. So I said, hey, I want to play it in Standard, and you get Cavern of Souls to make it even better. So why not? And the pretty cool thing is that you have Cavern of Souls in your deck, so you can name Shapeshifter or you can name Wizard for your Snapcaster Mage. But sometimes I'll just name Vampire to throw my opponent off, and they might think, oh, he must have Olivia in his hand, maybe Olivia in his deck. I actually named the Dragon against my one opponent, just he actually said, are you playing Hellkite? He was kind of confused, so Cavern is definitely nice in that way too.
That's pretty nice. Playing around the Thundermaw Hellkite can be very tricky.
Yeah.
So putting your opponent in that situation.
Yeah, they might not want to flash back their Lingering Souls or whatnot, so.
Cool play then.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm a little concerned, like right now we obviously have Aether and Cavern of Souls kind of like defining these control matchups. When Cavern of Souls is gone, what do you think it's going to be like?
Well, the thing is that you don't know what M14 is going to bring.
Yeah.
You don't know what the Theros, whatever the... Theros, yeah. You don't know what that's going to bring. So you could just back up Aetherling with maybe some discard spells. Rakdos Return is still going to be in the format. Sure. There might be a new, Duress or Appetite for Brains type card. So we'll just have to wait and see.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, your sideboard is real spicy. You've got a lot of singletons. Is it a straight 15 singletons?
It is. It's straight 15. I actually took a page out of Gabriel Nassif's book. He won the Grand Prix back in 08 in Chicago. So when I made the sideboard, it was actually, I think, 12 one-ofs. I didn't even realize. And then I was like, you know what, I'll just make it 15 one-ofs. Why not? Yeah.
Well, let's talk about some of the more interesting ones. As I imagine you're trotting them out, giving them a spin. Crypt Incursion. I actually saw someone sideboarding this last weekend. How's it been for you?
Crypt Incursion is one of my favorite new cards. It's insane and limited, and a lot of people don't realize they're like, oh, why would you play that card? It's pretty bad. But in reality, it's just a 3-mana instant that can just throw off the mat to limit it so much. And in Constructed, since you're playing so much removal, you could just gain a lot of life. Round 1 against my red-green opponent, I actually gained 30 life. Yeah, I was at 7. I gained 30 life, went to 37, and then he ended up conceding a couple turns later.
I'm shocked.
I had a Drown Yard going, and he just Cryptic Cursion is definitely an all-star, and it's awesome with the Snapcaster Mage because you could Cryptic Cursion early on, then some more creatures go to the graveyard, do it again.
Sure.
Yeah.
You've also got a Magma Quake as a pseudo sweeper.
Yeah,
how's that playing out?
Well, Magma Quake, you could play Rolling Trembler, but I wanted to choose on Magma Quake just because the red-green decks or the Nai decks, many of them play Domerade.
Yeah.
So you want to be able to kill that. Also, having it be an instance pretty cool, and just being able to do it for more than 2, because if they have a couple of Flint Wars down and it's later in the game, you want to be able to wipe their entire board. So Magma Quake's a nice one-off.
Yeah, I kind of like that decision over Rolling Tumbler. Obviously, getting to 3 is a big deal in this standard format, and things like Lux and Smiter can even make you want to go to 4 sometimes.
Yeah,
obviously, it's not super efficient, but all you need is the creature off the board, right?
Exactly.
You just need to not die.
Yeah, and it's nice because you don't take damage. With Earthquake or whatnot, you would always have to take damage here. Sure, you have some Planeswalkers, but you kind of play in a way that you won't kill your own Planeswalker if you don't have to.
Okay, well, I guess that about covers your Grixis list.
It does.
So thank you for sharing it with us.
Thank you for having me in the booth.
Yeah, I'm glad you showed up, and I figured now would be a great time we can talk a little bit about your King of the Nerds.
Sure, yeah,
audition.
Yeah. I want to thank everybody for supporting me and Magic in general for King of the Nerds. We don't know the outcome yet. It's going to be announced next Wednesday, so I guess cross your fingers or whatever you guys cross, and we'll see what happens. But I really do appreciate all the support. You guys are awesome, and I'll try to keep making you guys proud, and play Grixis. Come out to see Glenn Jones at these Star City events because hey, who wouldn't want to see Glenn Jones?
Who wouldn't want to see this face?
Yeah, seriously.
All right, well, if you do make it on the show, do us proud, beat all those other people.
And if I don't,
well, then at least do us proud.
I'll do it. Okay. All right. So thanks for having me, Glenn.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yep.
Good luck.
Okay.